Success isn't random. It follows a code. Welcome to the Conant Code, where we break down the strategies, challenge the myths, and uncover the truth in 5 minutes or less. Now, let's crack the code.
Winter in Massachusetts is unforgiving. Snow piles high, winds hollow through the streets, and for athletes, especially those eager to stay in peak condition, it's a prison of frost and stagnation. But in 1891, a small training school in Springfield, a man named Jim faced a different kind of storm, one that would not only test his wits, but his ability to create something out of nothing. His name, James Nesbitt, a Canadian immigrant, a theologian, and a newly minted physical education instructor. He had just landed a job at the International Men's Young Christian Association Training School, what we now know as Springfield College. But what he didn't know was his first assignment would change the course of sports history forever. The school's director, Luther Gulick, had a challenge for him. It wasn't just about keeping students active during the brutal New England winter. It wasn't about simple calisthenics or gymnastic drills. No, Gulick wanted something more. He wanted a game, a new kind of competition, one that could be played indoors, keep athletes in peak form, and demanded both strategy and teamwork, something to bridge the gap between football in the fall and baseball in the spring. A simple request, but an impossible task, because nothing like this existed. Nesbitt knew that if he failed, the winter months would remain a dead zone for athletes, a time where rust formed, momentum was lost, and discipline of competition faded. He studied existing sports, trying to find a way to modify, reinvent, or merge them into something new. Football, too violent for an indoor game. Soccer, not enough precision. Lacrosse, too much open space needed. He was stuck until he looked at what he had. A small gymnasium, a handful of eager students, a soccer ball, and 2 peach baskets. What happened next was the moment of accidental brilliance that only history can recognize in hindsight. He mounted the 2 peach baskets on opposite ends of the gym, higher than any player could reach. He established rules to limit physical contact, requiring more finesse than brute force. He made passing the key to the movement, because dribbling, as we know it, didn't even exist yet. And that, a simple idea, turned into a revolution. The first game was chaos. Players wrestled, shoved, tackled each other. Old habits from football and rugby refused to die easily. It was an ugly mess until Nesbitt refined the rules, re-emphasizing movement, skill, and precision. And something remarkable happened. Players began to strategize. They worked together. They passed the ball, aiming for the peach baskets as it was second nature. A sport was born. What started as a simple winter conditioning game exploded into a national obsession. From YMCA gyms across the country to high school courts, from college rivalries to professional leagues, the game Jim Nesbitt invented in the dead of winter became a sport that dominates every season. And today, basketball isn't just a game. It's a global industry, a billion-dollar empire, the foundation of some of the most legendary sports figures in history, all because one man refused to accept the long, dead winter, and because one man found a solution when none existed, all because James Nesbitt saw possibility in a pair of peach baskets. The lesson? Some of the greatest innovations don't start as grand ideas. They start as problems. The question is, when the winter sets in and conditions look impossible, do you sit still or do you grab a ball and start something new? Because every invention, every great business, every great movement starts with someone looking at an empty space and seeing what could be. And that, my friends, is the Conant Code.
That's it for this episode of the Conant Code. If you got something out of it, share it with a friend, follow the show, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. More insights, more strategies, and more code breaking coming soon. Until next time, keep thinking, keep building, and keep pushing forward.